In this video, I'll be creating the ultimate ant colony. From collecting seeds to making their own ant bread, let's go back to day one. Okay, the ants are still at Aunt Davy's, so let's start with the plan. First, we need to build the home. Thanks to Aunt Davy for sponsoring this video. I went online and had a look at some ant nests. I think this will be the perfect one. And here it is. I think it's a perfect starter kit for these ants. I've even added some sand. And here's the nest, but I'll get to that in a bit. So far it's looking pretty good, but it's quite barren and empty. Let's change that. I started by adding some seeds and botanicals. These act as food bowls for the ants, so I can put seeds or food and water inside of them. I added some rocks and pebbles to act as more decoration, and then the terrarium was complete. Here it is, and in my opinion, it's looking pretty good. Now let's check where the ants are. Okay, they're halfway to my home. We need to speed this up. Here's an above view so you can get a better view for it. And here is the nest. Let me explain how it works. On the right chamber, this is where the queen and workers will hide. And on the left, the seeds and ant bread. But I'll get into that later. But for now, let's leave it overnight. Okay, I think the ants are here, so let's get them. Here's the colony, hidden within this test tube. These ants and these seeds were kindly given to me by Aunt Davy, the sponsor of today's video. But more on them in a bit. Let's have a look at the colony. But quickly before that, let's have a look at the seeds. These are chia seeds, and I'm not sure what the others are, but they look pretty good, and I think the ants will love them. Now, after definitely not trying to open the cover backwards, I had a look at the ant colony. Here we are. Wow, look at them. These are Mesobarbarus harvester ants. Here we can see a major, or possibly a super major, and this big one is the queen. It was quite a big colony, but as you can see, they all came happy and healthy. I've never kept an ant colony with majors before, so this is the first time, and it's pretty cool. Let's turn on the lights and add them to their new nest. This is a test tube adapter I made out of some tube and cotton wool, and I'm going to be adding it to the test tube to allow them into the nest. I slowly removed the cotton ball and tried to add the adapter. Workers and majors alike rushed at the opening, but I covered it up quickly. I was pretty stressed as I didn't want any of the ants to escape, and then this happened. All of the ants started rushing the entrance, and I had nothing other to do than to add the test tube into the outworld and hope they found their nest. As you can see, I was pretty worried, but then I placed the outworld and put the test tube in. All the ants rushed out quickly. You can even see the queen at the entrance of the test tube trying to climb up the wall, albeit quite clumsily. Here's some sped up footage of the ants leaving the test tube. While the ants move into their nest, let's talk about this video sponsor, Aunt Davy. To healthy queen ants and colonies, to ant outworlds and nests, Aunt Davy has everything you need to start ant keeping. I've used Aunt Davy for a couple of years now, and every time I have, all the ants and colonies have been perfectly healthy. Look at the way these ants walk. They look almost prehistoric, like dinosaurs. From simple Lasius niger ants, all the way to leaf cutters, Aunt Davy has every ant you could ever need. Look at the queen trying to escape, aided by the workers. From affordable pricing, Aunt Davy has everything you need to start ant keeping. Here's the options if you're interested in buying a Mesobarbarus colony. They're pretty good. You can buy anything from just a single queen to queens with tens of workers. It's pretty cool. So if you're interested in starting ant keeping, or you already have and just want to get a new colony or any accessories, go ahead and check out Aunt Davy. There'll be a link in the description. I want to say a huge thanks to Aunt Davy for being the sponsor of this video and providing these ants. Thank you. Let's get back to the video. Okay, it's been quite a while and the ants seem to be settling in. Look at these ants all walking together like a herd of animals. They're even carrying their brood in their mouths. Look how big the major is at the front. Wow. It looks almost like they're talking to each other. Weird. Okay, it's getting pretty late. I'm going to turn off the lights and leave it overnight. Okay, it's the next day. I think these ants are ready for feeding time. Let's go. I open the lid slowly, trying not to disturb the ant colony. I gently lowered in a blue bottle cap that I cut to act as a plate for their food. Didn't want their food to get covered in sand, so this was the best option I could think of. This is some cut up mealworm, and I think they're going to love it. You can already see a worker looking around, maybe smelling the new food. I think she's a bit camera shy. Here's the freshly cut blueberry that I couldn't get off the tweezers. After a little bit of struggling, I managed to get the blueberry in and tap it a few times for some reason. Now I think it's time to add their seeds. These ants have a secret power which I'll talk about a bit more in a bit. Let's add them. After narrowly avoiding getting hit by seeds, this ant braved it and picked up one of the chia seeds, slowly dragging it across the sand before going into the wrong nest entrance. After getting a little bit embarrassed, it left the seed and decided to wash itself and walk off. This ant just completely missed the mealworm that I left for it. Speeding the video up, you can see the ants completely ignoring the food I left for them. I'm not too surprised as it is their first full day in the new setup. Now we can check off feeding them. Here's the colony inside of their nest. I didn't want to take off the red cover because I don't want to disturb them too much. The workers are still just walking around, probably looking for more food even though they can't see it right there. And here's the queen, walking around in her nest. She looks absolutely massive compared to the other ants. You can see how big the colony is, and look at the majors next to the workers. It's crazy. You can even see their small seed bar that they've begun to make. Everything seems fine. What is it? Because if you look at the top, there's an ant trying to escape. I don't know what she's looking for, but there's food, seeds, water, all within the outworld. By the looks of it, they've eaten the inside of the mealworms, and they've taken quite a few seeds. I don't know if you can see, but I've added a few more in the back left corner. Here's a better look. In that left corner, you can see all the seeds are placed. I'm pretty sure that's enough for them for now. Here's a close-up. There's probably around 50 there. Look at the little scout looking for more seeds and food. Here she is, carrying more seeds to the nest. It's a pretty cool sight to see. Now, let me explain what they do with these seeds. These ants have a special ability. Think of it as they own a bakery, but instead of workers, well, they're worker ants. After getting the seeds, the big majors chew them all up and turn them into special ant bread. This is a pretty cool thing, and not many ants can do it. This is why they're known as harvester ants. Okay, this was going to be the end of the video, but after seeing the ants escape, I decided to make this little tic-tac expansion port. Although it's quite DIY, I think it works perfectly fine. There's 3 different entrances. They're located here, here and here. For now, I've blocked up the entrances with cotton wool. There's even a little opening here if I ever want to expand it even more. Don't worry, I've poked quite a few holes in it so they can breathe. And here, I've added the seeds and connected it to the outworld. This is by far my favourite video so far, and if you like it, make sure to like and subscribe and go check out Ants Davey. Anyway, this will not be the first video on these ants, so keep tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.